February 6, 2025. Let's see, last time you guys approved the minutes. So, did everyone get a copy of the minutes from the January 2nd meeting, which Tubman was so kind to run in my absence? Thank you. Can I get someone's motion to approve the minutes?
Motion. Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, first thing is I did not get any correspondence in the past 30 days since the last meeting as far as any traffic issues. So that being said, I guess, Tom, do you have any updates on anything that you spoke about last month?
Well, I can follow up. The Jules Lane project, the Van Dyke Road project, and Cortland, Lewis Street and Cortland Street roadway project, they are all complete, substantially complete. We have some minor punch list items, and we're going through project closeout on all of those. So we should get those cleared up. Those are all three of those were DOT aided projects through local aid and urban aid. We have initialized, we started the, I'm sorry, let me step back. There's an ongoing project on Lee Avenue. The water main has been replaced. That is substantially complete, one or two minor punch list items. The same contractor is also replacing the sanitary main from Loretto to Hill. I believe that's also the limits of our paving. That is ongoing, and the road construction, or the contractor to redo the road has just started. He's going to do some stormwater work that we have to add on Lee Avenue between Powers and Ward, and then there's a lot of concrete work that can get done as soon as the weather breaks. We're hopeful that the sanitary main replacement should be done in early spring, so by late spring we should be able to redo the road. So that's a big one. And then we have a similar project that we just started on Jones Avenue. Jones Avenue from Sanford Street to George Street, the water main will be replaced. We have cambered all the sewers. We believe there's only minor sewer work that needs to be addressed at this time. Otherwise, it's in pretty good shape, thank God. And then once those two items are complete, then we have a roadway reconstruction project, which will pave the whole road in that distance. So those are ongoing projects currently. We were going to be starting our next DOT funded project is the balance of Lee Avenue, which I believe is from Hale to Welton, the entire length of Welton Street, and a portion of Harvey Street between Somerset and Hamilton. That's a combined project that we're surveying as we speak. We'll be cammering the sewers to see if there's any sewer work we should consider, and I believe water is going to replace the mains on those streets, if I'm not mistaken. So again, it's a whole attack. If we're in industry, we got to dig. We might as well get the paint over with and get it done. You know, a lot of our water pipes are in excess of 100 years old, and they're still surviving, thank God. So, but at the time that we get in, they start changing. So, there we go.
Thank you.
That's a mouthful.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a minor thing I want to follow up on, if you don't mind, under old business.
Go ahead.
We met again with Rutgers, the DOT, and the county. They are focusing on the College Avenue campus, looking to make the traffic a little bit more efficient. They have excellent data because they have GPS in all their buses, and they've already suggested some tweaks to us, which we're totally for. I believe they'll need to convince the county. I've had our traffic engineer, Brightview, look at the suggested tweaks. We don't anticipate they're going to have any impact on us, and anything that might suddenly improve traffic, but the tweaks are small. I believe they want to keep the green light on at College and Huntington coming up Huntington from George Street a little bit longer to allow more left turn movements on the College Avenue. And I believe at this point the only other suggestion is to extend the left arrow on George at Hamilton to allow more campus buses, at least one more to get through the intersection. Those are minor changes. We'll monitor and see if the traffic improves. If not, then we'll readjust. So the problem is the buses aren't circulating the way they used to prior to
No, I get you, I get you, but I'm sure, so I go that way because I take Johnson Drive to 18 on the way home. Right?
Okay.
So I take George Street up, and then, and then you have the turn signal, the buses that you're talking about, turning up to
Right,
Hamilton.
it's from Hamilton onto George to go towards the
From
river.
Hamilton to George.
To George, yes, that's the route.
Because I know because it was the other way, Hamilton's always backed up past Zimmerly,
Correct.
and buses can't make that.
No, I get that. That's part of the other thing too, but anyway, that's the Rutgers thing. I'm gonna ask Brian for you to, and these are two other areas, but I noticed a lot of queuing there, definitely during rush hour. There's on Lewis and Hamilton and Lewis and Somerset. There's a lot of left turn queuing that impedes traffic, so we're gonna see if I can add dedicated lanes at both those intersections.
Okay.
It might eliminate some parking, but it'll at least give me dedicated lanes. It might improve the serviceability of those intersections. But that'll have to be studied, we'll have to get, car counts and movement counts, and then we can go from there.
I think Brendan was talking about, they have a system where you can control the signals from...
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up.
Oh, okay. Didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No, you're good.
We don't have, what you're referring to as a preemption system.
TSP.
We don't currently have that at any of our signals in town. I know the county is in a grant study with the DOT, and I believe the signals on French Street, at least from the new one at Bayard and all the way through, I believe, all the way down to Nielsen Street, those are all interconnected now. They have fiber optics, they can communicate to each other. It's supposed to be a smart corridor, and they can do adjusting. There's even some preemption issues. Preemption means you can take over control of the lane. And commonly it's for an ambulance or a fire truck, correct?
Right, because that's when I saw, there was an ambulance during rush hour, trying to get up Albany Street, and he was basically stuck. No one was moving because no one knew who had the right of way between Eastern Avenue and so it was deafening, because all I heard was this underneath the tunnel.
Underneath the tunnel, right, exactly.
That's why I was questioning if that's possible.
Yeah, and then also there's an ongoing study on 18.
That's Data City.
That's also Rutgers with the DOT. We actually granted permission to have several devices in the park. We granted permission to put devices on top of our building at Boyd Park. All we asked is they showed the data with us. So.
Have we seen that data?
No, it's not yet. And that's supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken, we just got notice that the contractor is starting the preparation. You'll even notice some devices now at the traffic signal at Paul's Boulevard and 18, the one that's closest to the Dewey Heights neighborhood. You'll notice there's a 8-foot fiberglass pole, little device stuck on the bolt. Those, I think, are part of the sensors. There's even ones northbound on one of the street lights, kind of like by the George Street left turn to go to Douglas campus, you'll see. So they've already started adding some devices. They had pulled some permits from us in the past to put in fiber optics between certain areas. So some of the work has started. I just don't know how far along.
What do these devices do? What do they do?
The purpose of the whole corridor is that they're going to be able to sense the traffic flow in terms of volume as well as speed. And they're going to make suggestions on how to improve the light sequencing to get throughput in those areas. The interesting wrinkle is that I don't know how zero vision may impact this, because on Monday there's going to be a conference. The governor will be here at the Eldridge. We're going to talk about the zero vision. It's the attempt to try to eliminate all fatalities in the roadway. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a good thing to attend. I plan on going. That may impact some of the logic on this, because in the past the logic was to maximize vehicular throughput, and now we're trying to accommodate both, or three modes of, pedestrian, bicycle, and then vehicular, of course. So But anyway, so they're just trying to set up the infrastructure, so all these signals can communicate, and the system has some data inputs.
Have you spoken with anybody who runs the Rutgers buses about this?
Yes, in fact, the meeting we just had was Jen Stewart was there, the whole transportation folks were there, the two guys that run the buses were there. We were talking about the reliability of the data and that the fact that with the active GPS, they can just run those and you can see the whole traffic pattern.
So the one issue that always comes up with transit signal priority or transit signal preemption is one stakeholder controls the lights, or multiple stakeholders in this case, you know, the county or the
Right.
city or whatever. And then another stakeholder controls the rolling stock, in this case Rutgers Department of Transportation is controlling the buses. So it's always a chicken and egg problem. You don't want to buy the equipment to put on the bus because you don't want to know what's going to go on the RSU, the roadside unit.
Correct.
You don't want to buy the thing that goes in the RSU because you don't know what's going to go on the bus.
Right.
And so round and round we always go.
Well, we're still in the study stage right now, which is a good point to be. In the corridor on Front Street, every signal is the county's with the exception of Nielsen, and by then I'd be happy to, but then the next signal is state, so they have to get coordinated with the DOT as well, so.
So there's two ways to do it. There's the V2X, right, where the vehicle is communicating with the infrastructure, and then there's the over-the-air, the software-based one. You know when like the Rutgers kids are looking, or the Rutgers students are looking on the app and it says the next bus is going to arrive in, right? So that's achieved through something called GTFS-RT, right, General Transit Feed Specification Real Time. And what that does is it tells you where the bus is, and then Google Maps or whatever ends up picking that up and taking it. So there's another method of transit signal preemption where you install something in the signal, and then it just reads the feed. Like there's no wire connecting your phone to the bus, right? So we can do the same thing. And so if we can talk to them about that makes it a lot more flexible, because then we can start to hook it up to different data sources without the need to install anything on the Rutgers buses.
No, that's great, that's, obviously that'll be part of the next step, but
Yeah.
we want to go through the data and make sure that they come up with good recommendations and things of that nature. But so far, you know, two minor tweaks, and they think that'll be a nice improvement. It won't solve everything, but it'll get a lot of the nuisance stuff local out of the way. So anyway, we'll keep you posted on that. Rutgers actually have great resources as it relates to that. They have a good team. The planning team has been very good and good to work with.
Let me know if I can help out on this.
Oh, I appreciate it. No, it seems to be going well. At this point, they just need to convince the county. I had our guys look at it. We don't think it's going to have, it's going to negatively impact us at all. So we'll give it a shot and see if we can improve.
Sounds good.
And this is the patterns really changed after COVID. You know, they compared the old GPS bus signals to the new ones, and you can see it's quite a bit different. So, okay, sorry about that.
Sorry about it.
Just I keep talking, I don't stop talking. It's a problem.
Are you allowed in here?
I came to protest.
You're not on this commission anymore.
Came to protest.
Okay.
Got it, thank you.
You,
Okay, thanks, Tom. Does anybody on the commission have anything they'd like to bring up?
Yeah, I do. We got a request, sorry, we got a request from the church located, I believe it's 140 Remsen Avenue. I'll verify this. We currently have a special parking permit sign for them. It's really set up for their Sunday worship services. They're asking us to consider to add Friday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. if we could. I'll follow up with an email to you guys. I don't find that objectionable. It's a nighttime on a Friday night. It's not like there's school activity or work activity going on. It may impact a couple of residents, but it's only a couple of spots in front of this building. So I'm inclined to do it, but let me write a recommendation to you guys with this distributed email-wise.
Okay.
I think that ends it for me, sorry.
It's all right.
All right, I had heard some concerns about the buses and the 18-wheelers that are parking on Bayard, and it's, you know, basically for the State Theater being on both sides, and also both of them just running all day long. So not only, you know, idling, but it gets a little dangerous sometimes when they're on both sides, and then you have another truck trying to turn in, they can't turn in.
It does kill the sight vision, the sight triangle, absolutely
Because I
does.
can't park and get my coffee in the morning. Coffee shop.
So I don't know if it's worth looking into, maybe it's you only give them one side of the street, you know, to have the parking on, and then the idling is just a whole nother issue.
Do we have an anti-idling ordinance?
I don't believe that we do. But it's, I think there's a national law on it anyway. Not that we have to supersede it.
Lisa's here. Is there an anti-idling law?
I don't believe so.
That might be something to forward
Consider.
for consideration. to
Yeah,
the
there's-
appropriate folks.
That's a tricky one, because clearly that's an issue where you can enforce, but a lot of times in the construction site, you may have a dump truck next to where a backhoe's working, and I want that truck idling, so
I
maybe
wouldn't
we
consider
can
that
exempt.
idling though.
Well, we
That's-
can
that's
exempt-
doing work. Great.
Fair enough, we might be able to exempt construction sites or something like that,
Right.
but anyway, okay.
That's it for me.
Thank you.
I have a quick question. Does Franklin own the light at, control the light at Easton Avenue anyway? Up into,
That would, first of all, that's all Somerset County because it's west of
right, okay.
the brook. It's either Somerset County or it could be the township of Franklin.
Is there a way to get them to extend that light green on Easton for like another 20 seconds? Because that traffic is getting worse and worse and worse.
The left turn.
Leaving New Brunswick or turning left? to
Coming
go?
out of New
Yeah,
Brunswick.
leaving New
Yeah.
Brunswick.
Because what it does is it backs up past the hospital, but then everybody going on Lang Lane blocks the intersection.
Right,
That's a big problem.
right, because the queues go across the lane.
Yeah, especially because it's flash changing time.
Right, right.
It's just kind of extreme.
Traffic used to flow very smoothly when they had the bridge closed,
Yeah.
because they had to make the right lanes.
You had no choice.
Too many trucks now, that's the problem. It's just, like,
That's it.
you know,
Well,
scattered.
well, it's also because they're avoiding River Road.
Yeah.
River Road from Route 18 to 287 is limited to 10 tons.
Right.
So 18 wheels are
Right, no, I understand that. That I understand.
It's crazy. In any event, I don't know whose latest, but we can seek to find
Just
out.
if they can extend it.
I can reach out to the Franklin Township engineer, he can direct me
They
accordingly.
asked Bill Milligan to do this 15 years ago, but
Okay.
he just slacked it back then.
Well, they're gonna, if Somerset County is like the Middlesex County, and to their credit, they do complete due
Oh, I'm
diligence.
sure they do.
They do, and it takes years, unfortunately, but they do complete due diligence.
Yeah.
Anytime there's any roadway project, you should just see the property map.
Oh, I know what they do.
They go through all, and they read every deed for every easement, they really do a thorough job to do that. So-
Franklin's like on top of their paving. I mean,
So Somerset may be similar, we can ask a request, but it may take.
I think if they just extend the light, you know,
Right.
15, 20 seconds going,
That's a big ask.
so it would alleviate the traffic.
Anything under 10 generally is not considered amongst expert, not so
It's
huge
just
ask.
enough so that the cars that are going across
No, I get you, you
to
get
the
it.
landing lane can get out of the way.
Yep, I
But
get you.
99% of the time, people don't understand you're not supposed to block the intersection.
No, well, that's,
You know,
fear enforcement is stronger than the engineering control I can put into.
just a thought, you know. just-
I got you. Fair
So
enough.
the other thing that we can do, if we want to ask them to change the signal timing or the signal phase timing there, is we could ask them if they're willing to take a look at you know, probably the same thing as we were talking about before, not a TSP, but just a smart solution, right? You don't necessarily want to extend that signal phase if there isn't that traffic. So you can actually put a camera that's watching how far back that queue has built up. And in moments where it's built up, then you provide an enhanced green phase.
Anything to let,
Yeah,
to research.
because if you ask them, hey, I want to extend it, then they're going to say, hey, well, I don't know. But if you say, hey, can you put in a flexible solution that will real-time make
We're
choices?
more amenable to that, but I would imagine that they're gonna examine the whole corridor of Easton Avenue. They're gonna look at the light at Foxwood, they're gonna look at the light
Yeah,
at
it's
JFK.
it's literally just right there.
No, I know.
It backs up in either direction.
So I get you. It just also may be a volumetric problem, you know, some
Oh,
roads,
definitely.
it's
It's
just,
definitely right.
you know, because we looked at they had, when they were proposing the first detour around Landing Lane, they did pretty extensive traffic counts and movement counts. And I believe at the intersection, my memory serves me correct, John, pretty good, you had 7,000 cars on George Street from Landing Lane going to 18 in one direction in one day. And that was an average
Mhm.
over a week's time. And, you know, so there's a tremendous volume that happens there. So
Yeah.
we even did local counts on Johnson Drive, coming from Hamilton Street going into 18, and we were getting similar counts. We have these portable detectors that we can, but not, you know, so they can be incognito just to get traffic counts, because they're required a lot of times for our submission to grants to the DOT. And we are in the 8,000 range on Johnson Drive alone in the daytime. So it's a high volume part of the issue.
Yeah, it's a busy corridor, because even,
Especially leaving town.
well, even at rush hour, you know, over 18, the Eastern Avenue exit is backed up.
Oh, yeah, no, I get
It
you.
goes over pretty much to 18.
Well, that's because 18's backed up to the turnpike. I mean, and that's part of the discussions we have with the county. We're trying to make New Street a little bit more efficient, and we did change some of the tweaks to the signal at New and Livingston. But even if I had Livingston, New Green going all the way down, had the light at George Green going at 18, I can clear the queues, but they're gonna all back up there because
Yeah, no, it's gonna happen somewhere,
right,
right?
exactly. So it's, you know, similar issues. So hopefully the 18 project will help expedite some of that flow. I mean, that's part of it. Just a slow react.
Okay, anything else from the?
I do have one thing.
Yes.
There was a crash between a private vehicle and a Rutgers bus, in keeping with the Rutgers theme, on, what is this, Nickel and Lippman recently.
What was recent?
The bus was trying to turn right. The bus needs to make a wide right turn. And so the bus was over into the left lane a little bit.
Mhm.
And so the car moved into the right lane to attempt to make a right. The bus turned right out of the left lane and seemed to have sideswiped the car. Signage might be appropriate for us to place there in order to just make people aware that buses do make wide right turns. There is a sign on the bus that indicates that buses do make wide right turns, but there are a lot of new drivers and new people in the area every year, so.
Well, we also suggested at Rutgers, they modify
Yeah,
that
there is.
driveway to make it a much,
Sure.
so the bus doesn't have to make the exaggerated turn. Interesting enough, when we did Nickel Avenue, we wanted to improve the transition from Dudley Road to Nickel Avenue. And we suggested to drop the sidewalk a bit, approaching it so it's not as violent. And actually Rutgers said no, because they wanted to ultimately change the whole traffic in the Cook Douglas area, and they're looking maybe to eliminate that exit. So I don't know the details of the plan, so, but in any event,
So that's their road then?
yes, Nickel Avenue's us. Everything else is Rutgers. And I believe where that concrete knee wall is,
Yeah, is
you have
this,
a curved sidewalk and there's a little short concrete wall along most of that run. I think that's right about the limit of the right of way.
so I can show you this stop sign, and if it's our stop sign.
Well, it's probably ours, but we suggested some time ago, modified, that's where it comes out of Red Barn Road, is it? Because they come back onto Nickel to make the, and they go down towards George, that's where,
Correct.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had suggested to make the thing wider. That would be up to Rutgers, not up to us, but.
So even if they don't do it, I'm gonna make a suggestion that we just put a sign underneath the stop sign warning the new drivers on Douglas campus to,
So wait, where was the car? Where did the car come out?
I don't know where the car came out of, but here's a picture, I'll send it to you in
Are you able to put a
correspondence.
sign on the stop sign?
Yeah, just say careful, there's a bus that might make a wide right turn here.
We tried to avoid any sign below 7 feet.
Yeah.
Because we've been sued because people hit their heads in it.
Right.
It's just, unfortunately, a lot of our permits are
All the 7 feet
results
must
of
be
lawsuits.
Yeah. I don't have that problem.
Oh, this happened on the campus.
Yep.
That's the Rutgers Road. I
Turn it
got
onto our road.
it. I hear you. Oh,
Yeah.
you could put a sign. You could put a sign right before it.
Right.
And that could be, you don't even need permission because that's on Rutgers property. You can do whatever you want on the property.
Well, yeah, so maybe we can just send something over to them.
Yeah.
I'll type up the case study.
Okay, yeah.
And forward it to
Yeah,
the
okay, I thought, I understood. Yeah, they go wide because it's.
Yep.
Okay, anything else from the commission?
We applied for this 2025.
You're not showing up today.
I'm trying to offload. I want to download, so I don't have to worry about it. We applied to the NJDOT 2025 Freight Impact Fund, and we're seeking to redo both Home News Row, and we had a Triangle Road this year. Okay. That would be good. We tried Holmes Road last year. We meet the criteria in terms of they want a minimum of 10% truck traffic. We're at 28% volume of truck traffic. And those are done because we had to get actual counts of different vehicles. Those are done by a third party firm as opposed to just our detector.
Was it to repave the?
It'll be a complete roadway. There'll be some work. Actually, we're trying to combine with water again. With the water main upgrade, we'll probably continue on the Jules Lane project. We connected a 16-inch water main. We connected a new 20-inch water main connecting to the 16-inch water main on Jersey Avenue. We brought it up Jules Lane, down Home News Road, a certain distance into the tower, because we have a 1.5 million gallon tower at the end of Home News Road. So part of Home News Road, we're going to do some more infrastructure underneath, and then Triangle Road just needs it big time. It's in bad shape. We sold these chemicals. The people are actually in there cleaning that place up now, so Triangle Road can use the work to facilitate that cleanup, which is decades coming, so we want to kind of support that. Also, the county will be redoing the culvert at the end of Triangle Road near Jersey Avenue. So we're trying to combine those projects.
So did you apply already, or?
Yeah, we applied. It went in on January
So,
15th, I think.
okay, so when do
We
you
probably
know?
won't hear until May, typically speaking.
Late spring?
Yeah. And then we'll have 3 years to be under contract to do that, so
Oh, so it's something that's gonna be a couple of years away, right?
probably 2 years away.
Alright, sorry, I missed that.
That's all right. Yeah, because we also have 20-inch that goes to bounce Home News Road and down Triangle, and then it cuts back to the other side of town anyway. It goes actually, no, Triangle Road, but then it cuts through underneath the spurs and feeds out towards 27. You know,
Okay.
a lot of stuff in there, but
Are you done?
I don't know. If you're gonna say something, you're gonna trigger a whole other thing.
I'm not saying a word. Keep it on mouth shut. Everyone else? Any public comment?
Like related to what you guys were saying, or like separate?
Related.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. No, if you have a
But
comment.
I came from because I basically was trying to figure out how to propose something, but unrelated to what you guys were saying. So I was told to
Oh,
come.
no.
Yeah. Is there somewhere I stand? I just.
You could talk, you could sit down.
So basically, I'm following the theme. I'm a Rutgers student, so very interesting to hear all that stuff. So I live on 74 Sickard, which is on the courthouse at the intersection between Sickard and Richardson. And I've lived there for about 1.5 years now. And I don't have the exact numbers, so maybe you guys could pull the data afterwards if you're interested. But I've seen many crashes at that intersection, and I actually was thinking of going to this meeting, but maybe it was November 7th or something like that. And I didn't because of classes, but I should have. And I was planning on going to this one a week ago, and then there was another crash 2 days ago, and I drove someone to Robert Wood. And that's not the first time I've driven someone there from a crash there. And I've spoken to a ton of people there, because there are times I'm one of those guys that sits in my room a lot because I do a lot of work there, and I will consistently, probably 3 or 4 times a day, if it's not a crash, I'll hear a 5-second horn with screeching, and then there's no crash. But I know so 2 people almost just hit each other, and so my proposal is that there's stop signs, but based on the layout of the houses on the corners and where cars are able to park, the visibility is 0. I've talked to so many people, and I know that Rutgers tried putting in these bike rack things, and those got torn out. Yeah, the blue and yellow ones. So my thought was that those were for to prevent people from parking there for more visibility. I don't know if that was the point of
That
that.
was the intent, was to hopefully get interest in using it, and also to try to preserve what we call the sight triangle.
Right. So yeah. So because those were pulled out, cars are parking up as close as possible, and the stop signs that are there, because they're all stupid college students, so they'll roll it. They won't even watch, and then they'll just hit someone. And so what I was thinking is if it's possible, I don't know how complicated it is, but to get a 4-way stop sign, because I really do think that would reduce accidents.
We need traffic counts. The DOT has what they call warrants, and these are tests if these things, if they would encourage it. we can look at that of, if it's purely operator error, it's hard to make that justification. Clearly, we can talk to the parking authority and the police, because you're not supposed to park within 50 feet of a stop bar, and in the opposite direction, you're not supposed to park within 25 foot of a crosswalk. That will probably eliminate 4 potential parking spots in each corner, which is the downside, but obviously traffic safety is going to be more important. So those are state laws. I mean, I guess we have them in our ordinances as well, because we adopted MUTCD as the basis for our ordinances, which is the Manual of Uniform Traffic Control Devices, a federal document. But it sounds like it's probably more of an enforcement issue than it is. Because if the visibility is there, it's one thing, you know. But we can also ascertain the traffic counts. I don't have that data. I have to go out and have it studied. And depending on the volume of the flows, the state will say it's not recommended or it is recommended to put a 4-way stop. There are tests, but just so you know. There is a process.
Can we look at the police reports? Anytime there's a crash, probably a lot of them are not documented. Maybe some are, some aren't, who knows? But if we can get a crash map too, from the PD.
They'll have to search the record. They'll have to request it from
Because that's a
PD,
justification.
and then they have to redact certain items, you know. So we're interested in how many and what the nature of the what's that?
The cause of,
What's that?
the cause of the crash?
Yeah, because they'll say what car hit what car, and you know which way the stop sign is, and you know. But
So you'll look into that?
I will. I'll write an email to
I mean,
administrative captain tomorrow.
you know, I know the parking authority, I can speak for the parking authority, I know we do give tickets for too close to the stop sign, too close to the crosswalk. Problem is that we don't remove the car. So,
Right.
even though you give a ticket,
Right.
the car's still there, it's still blocking the view.
Well, maybe we should consider certain offenses to be towed immediately. I know if you're blocking a crosswalk, you can be towed immediately. Maybe we should extend that for visibility because it's a life safety issue.
So, something to think about.
I'll inquire with the city attorney about that as well.
Okay. All right. Good?
Yeah, that was basically.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, we'll take a look. I'll request the reports for the last 2 years
Awesome.
to get a sense of it. We won't catch the near misses because they're probably not reported.
Yeah.
You know, the horn and the screeching mark with no crash. But, and so it's Richardson, right? It's Richardson?
It's Secretary Richardson, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right here, actually.
No, I know. And then, because we also have similar issues at Lafayette, which is really Wyckoff in Richardson. Wyckoff goes inside the senior center. But that's a 4-way stop there.
But not stop signs that way.
Yeah, right, gotcha.
All right. We'll take a look, absolutely.
Thank you.
Charlie, you got it?
Yes, please. Good afternoon. Traffic Commission, Charlie Cradville, with Brunswick, with Brunswick Today. I want to thank the gentleman for coming with a good suggestion and raising this issue, and I think it should be moved on swiftly. Let's not wait for more crashes to address it. I also wanted to follow up on a couple issues I raised at the November meeting, I guess, the Saddam and Troop flashing crosswalk. Is there any update on that?
I'm just gonna use the restroom.
That's the big one that got destroyed. I'll have to find, I just know it's crazy, the black bronze, cast aluminum, for some reason, the lead time, that's one of the minor industries never recovered after the pandemic. Brass seems to be a similar industry for some reason, but I will try to follow that. That's an important one.
Thanks, yeah, I appreciate it. It certainly is a high
I
traffic.
know, of course, it's like a $25,000 device, you know, but anyway. And we couldn't get the plates of the guys that hit it. That was the worst part. So.
And did the insurance cover it?
What's that?
Did cities have insurance that covered it though?
That one I wouldn't need to claim, I would just replace it, you know.
Okay. The other item I brought up was the replacement of one of the Route 1 bridges connecting New Brunswick and Edison. I expressed some concerns about what accommodations would be made for pedestrians or cyclists. I have since then gotten some answers from the Department of Transportation that make me feel a little bit better about it, but I would need to see more and learn more before.
There's a set of drawings you can download. It's on their website.
If you could share that with me, that'd be great, because the website I go to says it's been
Yeah,
taken down.
the drawings there's probably 150 sheets.
Okay,
Essentially what they're doing is they're going to restore the northbound outside walkway. Right now, the plans show it to be 5 feet. The county asked that the state can consider widening it to 8 feet, so then you can have clearly two-way bicycle traffic without a potential issue.
that would be, pardon me, on the sidewalk or on the pavement? Do you know?
This is on the bridge itself. There's an existing pathway right now on the right-hand side that's beat to hell, you know, the concrete's fully
Just the one heading towards that.
going towards Edison. So they're going to restore that 5 foot wide. The county reviewed the drawings and they asked the state, can you go to 8 feet wide? That was one of the county's comments. The county had some comments on the Edison side, which I didn't want to get involved with because I'll let Edison comment on those. But I didn't have any exception to the county's comments, but I concurred at least that they should consider widening the sidewalk. The left sidewalk is going to be eliminated. That's going to be cantilever to a fourth travel lane, believe it or not.
So there won't be a sidewalk?
On the left side, no. But there'll be a sidewalk.
But
on the
there
right
won't be
side.
on the right side?
It doesn't make sense to be on the left side.
Got it, yeah.
Because it was originally it was in one span, so you needed it both ways.
Understood. Thank you for that. And, yeah, if you're able to send me the link or send me the plans, I would.
Yeah, I mean, they're thick. I mean, you're going to come, I'll let you look at it at all.
You have them on paper, you're saying?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
11 by 17, and they're very thick.
Well, thanks for that offer, I appreciate it. And, yeah, I guess, with regard to the bike lane or bike path, do you know how far, where it would begin in New Brunswick, what it would connect to? Would you be able to access it, obviously, from the apartments there?
I would have to look on the drawings, but clearly, when you're at Aja, you could be off the highway and you can take a bicycle. Where they're actually going to start the sidewalk, I'm not sure. I gotta believe it's going to be before the turnoff into Regency Manor, because that's actually a private road. We own the little piece of property where the old monument is, which is coming down, because that was actually replaced in Monument Square Park.
Yeah.
The plaques off that all came off, so that monolith is going to go away. And clearly, they'll have sidewalk. I don't know, I have to look in the drawings where it picks up, but.
Okay, well,
The challenge would be further down Route 1, getting past 18. Once you get past 18-1
right.
interchange, then you can get over.
It's a giant interchange, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay, well, thanks for that. And yeah, I'll just close by saying, sorry, Mr. January meeting. I think it would be better if the meetings were, one, at a more convenient time for members of the public to attend, and two, if you allow remote access to them. So, New Brunswick Today has our camera here today. We'll be posting the video on the New Brunswick Today YouTube channel for people that couldn't attend. But, that's something that the city is perfectly capable of doing and does for some other meetings, like the city council meetings are recorded and posted. And I think at a minimum, you should invite the city public information officer or somebody to come here and record the meetings. I of course can't always be here to do that, but I will when I can. And yeah, I would encourage you to look at Zoom access, video recording, and maybe even changing the time. I think there's definitely some modern technology that this commission could be using to reach more people, and that would be a good thing. So respectfully suggest that you look into adding Zoom access. And I know I had asked about recording when Mr. Kennedy was the chair, and they said they didn't want to do it, but now that we have a new chair, maybe Mr. Carrot, maybe you would look kindly upon asking the city to record these meetings. I think that would be a good thing for the public. And yeah, thanks for hearing me out.
Okay, thank you, Tom.
We wouldn't even need the other video. It's a good idea, because then we wouldn't even need any other people
Right.
out here in video. We can just do it ourselves.
Anything else? Good? All right.
Tom?
You done?
I think I did enough today.
So once I say adjourn, that's it.
Adjourn. A motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.